One of the surprising things about Gukesh's rise was that he was winning a lot of games where he thought an inordinate amount of time in positions where an older generation would say, hey, buddy, you need to move. And what he is, he's a calculator. And he would think sometimes up to 40 minutes on one move, trying to calculate it all to the end. And in a lot of the tournaments prior to the World Championship, he was doing very well with this approach and was finding some amazing moves when he thought 40 minutes. So when we did our preview at the dojo for the Ding Gukesh match, we were wondering, well, is this going to catch up to him? And in hindsight, one of the main reasons it didn't catch up to him was because Ding himself was moving way too slow. So we didn't really see that aspect of Gukesh's play being taken advantage of. However, you can be certain that now that he's in the spotlight, all of his competition are zeroing in on this deficiency. And even if they aren't purposefully zeroing in on it, my sense is it was going to catch up to him someday anyway. And now Gukesh is going through a very rough patch. And what I'm hoping with this video is, with the help of our new time management rating, by putting a number on it and looking at some time graphs, that his team will be like, oh, Gukesh, we need to talk about this. This chump GM Kraai is onto something. Let's listen to what he says. All right, so here we go. We're going to look at some of these recent losses. The first is from this Romanian Super Bet tournament that happened right before the event that's now ongoing. And we're going to look at this game with Gukesh against MVL. So already by move 19, this position where we're going to pick it up in, he's doing fine and on the clock, and that was partly due to, let's say, opening preparation. Okay, so he's doing fine. Now, what does MVL do? He plays a fine move, F3. Mostly this is just to stop knight G4. Now, I think black, it's a very hard position for me to judge. I don't know exactly what's going on, but I know that black can't be doing that poorly. Yeah, the knight is beautiful. None of black's pieces are poor. So black should be fine. And here, black is going to have to make an intuitive decision about what to do. You could play rook c8, maybe with c6. You could play queen d7, thinking maybe c6, maybe knight f7. Maybe you think about a5. But all of those, I don't think you're going to be able to really calculate it out. But for Gukesh, that's a real problem. He is a calculator, and he thinks for 12 minutes here and plays bishop a7. Okay, MVL's like, you know what? I'm just going to sit on this dude. I'm going to play king b1. See what he does now. And he spends 18 and a half minutes playing bishop b6. Knight a5, probably a good move. And now Gukesh loses his mind with c5. Now, when you're in time pressure, right, and you know, you're at move 22, you've only got now 22 minutes left, so almost a minute to move. You're going to make mistakes. That's the deal. You're not going to lose on time anymore because we have the increment, right? So no one's losing, very few people are losing on time, but you will make mistakes because you're feeling the pressure and you're like, well, now I have to move, right? So this game goes bad for Gukesh. All right, by the way, this just a little bit about this time management rating. You can see the little turtle here means he's moving too slow. And MVL's time management was very good, and he's got a bunny, and the bunny just means you're playing a little faster than the line would suggest. Sometimes a lot faster. In this case, just a little bit faster than the ideal line. Okay, so let's take a look at another game. This is Arjun here. And Arjun won the battle of the opening, playing a weird line. When we say that, I don't mean that he's got even a better position. I think black is completely fine here. And black can do, to my eyes, a number of moves. You know, white is down a gazillion tempi, but he's got this one little thing against us. We could play rook d8, as happens in the game. We could play rook e8, e5. We could play this move. We could play this move. what does Gukesh do? He tries to calculate it all to the bitter end. Okay, so 28 minutes spent on rook d8. Oh no, oh no, and you see it in the graph over here. We have now collapsed. We have collapsed in terms of the graph. And that's a real problem. That's a real problem because we're not going to have enough time later. Okay, so 4 minutes here, 7 minutes here, 10 minutes over here, and we're already, as you can see, in deep doo-doo. We're in move 22 again, and he's got 18 minutes left. Mistakes are going to be made, and that's the way this game was decided. Now, I want to say a little bit about Arjun. I kind of want to do a deeper dive on Arjun's time management because my sense of it is he really likes to be ahead on the clock. He likes to put the pressure on the opponent, and it's a problem as well to move too fast, right? But one of the things he's doing, and I think he's exploiting Gukesh here, is that when Gukesh tanks, he's using all of that time when his opponent is tanking, trying to anticipate his opponent's moves and getting ready. Right? Getting ready to play his next move fast. So it's not like he's not thinking. When Gukesh spends 28 minutes, it's not like he just walks around. No, he's figuring out what to do to bring the bomb fast once Gukesh moves. Okay, so then we go over here, and here's Magnus and Gukesh. Here, Gukesh's time management isn't so poor, but I really want, in comparison to Carlsen, okay? And just in general, but I want to stress we see a similar thing happening here. And this is what I think Gukesh's team needs to be aware of. So let's pick it up here. Queen e2, h6, 6 minutes. Is that an intuitive decision? Absolutely. Is it a bad move? No. You could have done other things too, though, but was it worth 6 minutes on your clock? Now, fine. Rook d1. Kind of a weird move. Magnus is also thinking a little bit too long here. 14 minutes on this move. Now, Gukesh, buddy, this is where we need to talk. You could do so many different things here, and they're all okay. They're all okay. Okay? You are doing fine. You then spent 31 minutes, my friend, on Queen a5. 31 minutes! Oh, no! And the thing from a competitive standpoint to realize here is, first of all, your opponents are going to be aware of this problem that you have. They're going to be aware of it, and they're going to be looking to punish you. Okay? And it's just not worth it. There's no way that whatever you think you're figuring out with Queen a5, it's not worth it because 31 minutes, no way. And this is the kind of position where you're not able to calculate so much. Okay. And it's a real problem because already now by move 11, we're falling. We're falling, Gukesh. Okay. So the next point of the game that I would just want to move to is it might not seem like that big of a deal, but when you see this little blip over here, see that move 42? So let's cruise over there to move 42. And we suddenly, e4 is played. And I have a feeling Magnus was like, well, typical Magnus, dude. He's like, well, we're in this end game. Maybe it is equal, but I'm going to play it out. I'm a beast. Welcome to the jungle. All right. So it went snip, snap. Okay. And now Magnus has 5 minutes and Gukesh tries to calculate it out with h4. Now, what now ensues from this position that might have looked equal, now we get this real true madness, and Gukesh starts to try to calculate it all out. And it is true. Man. And Magnus would also like more time. You can watch a video of this. It's great, this finish, because Magnus is going to find all these key moves. But let's just say the obvious. Both players needed more time when they got to this position. And here we have, here check, Queen h6, and now it's over. And you have to find Rook g2. Obviously not easy. If he had time, though, he would have found it, right? He would have found it. The big point being check. Here we go back check, and then king c4, queen c6, and there's no queen c5 because of queen a8. So that would end up being a draw. Whew! Really an amazing position. And this one, you know, he gets a rating of 2560, not so bad. And Carlsen was just 100 points better. But, you know, one of the things about 100 points is 100 points means something. It really does mean something. And it's these kind of small numbers that the time management rating are really great with. Because if I just look at this graph with a human eye, I see the same thing. But the algorithm is going to drill in it a little bit, and it's going to be like, no, actually white was better. And it's this little subtle differences of whether you have 5 minutes or 2 minutes, it's a big deal. It's a very big deal. Okay, one thing I just want to end with is, and I think this is the challenge for Gukesh's team and other people who are time pressure monsters, okay, is Korchnoi, who has a time pressure problem. He had a problem as well. I think it was a very similar situation where he was also a calculator. Now, why am I bringing this up? Because when you try to fix Gukesh's problem, we don't want to kill his angels when we try to kill his demons as well, right? He is a wonderful calculator, and we need to get him to play faster in intuitive positions. And his mind is geared toward calculating everything out, as was Korchnoi's, right? And Korchnoi has a great quote where he says, I have really playing 2 games when I play. I'm playing one against my opponent and one against the clock. And there, back in the day, they didn't have increment. It was a bigger problem. And that is the situation that Gukesh has here. Now, the great news for Gukesh, he's a young kid. Once he fixes this problem, he's going to get out of this rut. So for Gukesh fans, I mean, think about it this way. The kid is going through a rough patch, but he is basically getting faced with this real competitive problem that he has that before he was getting away with, and now he's not getting away with it. And by the way, when you're a world champion and the eyes are on you, people are going to start looking at your games. They're going to be talking about what your weaknesses are, right? So Gukesh, use our time management rating graph and the rating, and you can diagnose this problem and you can fix it. All right.